Welcome. I'm Michael, and I am building something today. Basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1 gallon paint can, and I'm going to take this small soup can, and I'm going to put the soup can in the paint can, and I'm going to make a smokeless wood-burning camp stove out of it. In theory. Right now what I'm going to do is just lay it out so that I know where I'm cutting and where I'm drilling on things. Once it's all laid out, then I'll move to the garage, I'll get out my power tools, that's part of the job, and then I'll start drilling and cutting and assembling, and hopefully when I'm all done I'll have a smokeless camp stove, even though I don't camp. Another conversation. Okay, so first thing I want to do is just figure out where the small can, the burning can, will actually go in the lid. I'm literally going to cut part of this out, so...
Does it matter if it's perfectly centered?
Probably helps, but I don't know how. I mean, I obviously didn't come in with calipers to go, I'm sort of winging it.
So when you cut that hole, the can will just fall down to the bottom?
No, because the little can, I don't know if you can see this, there's that small lip right there.
Yeah.
Will hook there and then sit on the inside. So goes the theory. The next thing you need to do, if I have, imagine if you will, this can in a lid and my fuel down in there, there's not enough oxygen for anything to burn. And so nothing will burn. So the way to get that handled is you put holes in the bottom of your paint can. So the way you do this is you literally will drill holes in the bottom of the paint can so oxygen can get in. I want it to look neat, so I'm going to position the holes around the paint can edge at specific intervals. Now, I have the circumference of the paint can. Just take the tape back off. Just tape it down on the counter. Get a handy dandy tape measure. Don't need a big one because, well, we're not doing that much. And you just lay it out. Lock the tape where you want it. So looks like this is just shy of 2 feet in circumference. So basically I've laid the tape out, as you can see. I've laid the tape measure. I've made the determination that I'm going to use a 3/8 inch bit to drill the holes in the paint can, and I'm going to place those holes every 1/2 inch so that it gets plenty of air inside the paint can. So I just take my pencil, or pen, in this case, and I mark every 1/2 inch on the tape. That is done for the main part of the can. So the same principle now will apply for the burning can. Now the trick on this, and this is where it gets a little weird, if I fill the can with fuel, wood, sticks, and twigs and the like, obviously you'll want holes around the bottom. That comes as no big surprise. But what you want, and this is where it gets a little weird, is fewer holes in the bottom of the can than you have in your big can, so that not all the air coming into the big can is going into the bottom of the little can. We'll actually put holes along the top of the can for air to come in there as well. And in doing that, you actually create a secondary burning chamber. So same principle, we'll wrap tape around the bottom, and then we'll wrap tape around the top. That will tell us where to run the drill when I get to that point. And what you want at the top of the can are more numerous smaller holes, because you're trying to get more, not just airflow, but velocity of airflow. So for the lower chamber, I think I will use the 3/8 inch bit again, and I will space it out further, 1 inch apart. For the top part again, I will do at 1/2 inch intervals. And the nice thing about this is, if I assemble it and I run it, and it turns out I'm not getting enough air to make it work at the bottom, I can always drill more holes. So the next step, we're going to head to the garage. I'm going to get out both the drill and the Dremel, and I'm going to start punching holes in things. Woo-wee. Welcome to my garage. Yay, this was fun. So what we're going to do, I drew the circle for where the can will fit in the lid. So I'm going to start with the Dremel, and I have my cutting blade on there, and I'm just going to cut this thing out, and we'll go from there. All cut out. So now, in theory, I can put the can in. Well, I'm gonna have to think something up. I guess I should have gone inside the circle some.
You know what you should do is check out all the different cans that we have inside.
Yeah.
And see if there's one that fits in what you've already created there.
Right. There's an idea.
All right.
So this can is too big, or too small. The hole is too big. This can is too big, which is perfect because now I can sand this down and make it fit. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to take off my cutting wheel and put on a sanding wheel. I'm going to start sanding.
You know, they always have these disclaimers in these videos. I mean, you're like,
Do not try this at home.
well, you know, I mean, you're wearing gloves, which is safe.
Yeah.
They would all be like freaking out because you don't have eye gear on. But you have your eyeglasses on.
I would like to point out these are polycarbonate. This is safety glass material.
Right.
So, okay. So now you need to break out the drill. Here we go. The nice thing about using tin cans is, well, lightweight material makes them pretty easy to cut or drill. So now we've got the intake holes along the bottom. So when it's in the main can and the air is drawn in, it flows in here to give oxygen to the fire so that it burns. Next, I'll drill the more numerous holes along the top. So I'm going to start with a 3/16 bit. I may determine that that is smaller than I need, and I may come back later and widen those holes, but I'd rather have smaller holes than I need than bigger holes than I should. Because, well, you know, we saw already what happens if you are wrong about your measurements. Yay, okay. Now you can see all the holes are drilled, both top and bottom. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little can and I'm going to jam it inside my lid. And look at that.
Oh.
Now I have my burning can. Now I may discover, we'll see, that I want a few holes along the bottom, but for now I'm hoping these ones around the perimeter are sufficient for intake. If not, as I said, I can always take them, drill more holes. I'm going to suggest that 3/8 every half inch is not going to be sufficiently distant.
Oh, yeah.
That's just going to cut into the next one. So we're going to do 3/8 every inch. Case in point.
Wow.
Oof.
Was there a seam there?
Something. Well, it is a double-walled can. So, I mean, there's more metal in this than in the soup can. There we go. All right. I described it before, but now visually you can see it. The fuel, the wood, will go in this section here. Air would be drawn in here, and then obviously flame and heat will come out here. But why the upper holes and why the second can? That's where it gets interesting. When you put this part in the paint can, what will happen is air will be drawn in this part, and then it will be sucked in here and burn up through here. But there's more air coming in here than can be drawn in here. So what will happen is that air will rise as it heats, and then it will come in these secondary holes up here, and it will blow in hot air, and it will reignite the unburned fuel. What some people don't know is that when you have smoke in a fire, that smoke is unburned fuel. What you need is more oxygen. It will burn that fuel. Hot air directed at the fire will then burn up that extra smoke, and that's how you get smokeless. So that's why it's designed the way it is with the two-wall design. So we'll see if this works. So I'm going to seal this down, and then I'm going to go outside and find some sticks and some fire. And there it is, look at that. Now I've got a camp stove. We'll see if it works.
Okay.
Is everybody else excited?
I'm thrilled.
I can tell.
Are you adding paper in there?
Well, it depends. I mean, if you've got small enough bits, if you've got leaves and twigs and that sort of thing, theoretically you shouldn't need paper. Well, especially getting matches.
Not on me, no.
Well, that's going to be problematic.
I can hear it.
Trying to suck in air.
Yeah.
I might need some paper.
Huh.
All right, let's see if it works. The more air it can get, the hotter it will burn, the less smoke you'll get. So here shortly we're going to find out if I have enough holes in that thing.
The smoke will continue until such time it gets hot, right?
Yeah. And once it's hot, then the smoke stops. All right, it is trying to work. There we go.
So far, it is not smokeless.
This is wildly not smokeless.
It is like the opposite of smokeless.
This is Smokefull.
But it looks really cool with the sun, you know, over there, and the sunset coming, you know. Well, it seems to be working. I don't see smoke now.
Now it's doing. If you come over here, you can see this. Get down here so you can see it. See how the fire is sort of jetting out of the holes?
Yes.
Here? Yeah. So that's the purpose. So that's the secondary combustion. The air now coming up through the can is hot enough that it's heating and reigniting the leftover smoke. You put the wood in the burning chamber, and then it burns. And these holes around the bottom are where the oxygen comes in to feed the fire. The problem is, once the ash lifted beyond or filled beyond those holes, it could no longer breathe. And, well, like anything, fire needs to breathe. So as soon as it couldn't, it went out. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some holes along the bottom of the can So I'm going to enlarge some of these holes, and then I'm going to put little holes in between these big holes around the perimeter, and then big holes above those. So I punched more holes in it. I expanded the holes that I had. I still think airflow is my issue, so trying to correct it by giving more airflow. I had to bring in assistants. This is Igor.
Igor.
Master said lights in the fire.
It's not smokeless.
This is
It's mostly smokefull.
Mostly smokefull. I like it.
mostly Smokefull. Here we go.
This could be a new thing. This could be something that you know. All those people out there saying you can make a smokeless stove. Screw that.
Why would you?
Why would
Why
you
would
do
you want a
that?
smokeless one when you could have a mostly smokefull one?
So much better.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun with it. Where did you get these new little twigs?
I found them over there.
Yes, you found them over there.
Right where the tree drops sticks. I had to look because there was a bunch of small branches, so I had to find the little twigs.
I see.
He tells me, he goes, well, I don't have any small twigs. He goes, I'll find it right here.
It's partially smokeless.
Well, give it a minute. What did you do something to it?
We put sticks in it and lit it on fire.
So no.
I never had fuel in it like this. It is actually fairly smokeless.
It is really freaking cold out here.
It is freaking cold out here. That's why I built a fire. That didn't help. Look at that.
It's very cute. Is it doing what it's supposed to be doing?
Yeah.
Now it's heating up the paint can enough to burn off that excess, all the enamel that's on the outside of that can.
Oh.
That's what's turning yellow here. This, and it's because you're generating so much heat.
Mm.
So if
Taking
you
off
sit
the
over
coating.
here, you can smell a slight twinge of plastic.
It's lovely. Ooh, yeah, you can definitely smell the chemicals coming off it now. Well, now I'm happy.
Yes.
If you found this entertaining or useful or just an observation of what not to do, I'll take it. I'll take whatever. Like and subscribe, and watch for more videos of me doing silly shit. We'll see if it works. Just put that anywhere.
You did.